Hi, I'm Beryl, and welcome to the 10th installment of the Toast series. Based on the feedback from the last 9 episodes, it seemed like we needed to keep forging ahead and finding more toasts from more people. So today we're gonna learn about 5 more toasts from 5 countries as we, intrepid explorers, continue down the path to discover all the toasts of the world. Join me.
Hi, my name is Christina and I'm from Austria. I am a farmer and I also work at a hotel. Today I want to tell you about the Bauerntoast, which is called farmer's toast in English. It is 2 slices of sourdough bread, smoked ham, Gouda or Emmental cheese and a fried egg on top. It is really easy, you just have to toast the bread, put the ham and cheese inside and the egg on top, but of course it has to be with a runny yolk. Very important are the accompaniments. You have to have pickled onions and pepperoni, which are pepperoni in English, but it is a mild chili pepper. We have it as a dinner toast or even as a drunk food. So for me it is quite funny, and also it is an easy dish you can put together really fast, but it's also not too boring because of the pickles. I hope you can make it and enjoy it. So have a nice day. Bye.
So this really reminds me of the Sesame Max from Germany. I have worldly toast knowledge to the point that it's unnecessary knowledge, but I've got it. I do like that it's kind of got the farmer's vibe. We've got a bunch of pickled things in here, which love pickled bits. It's good. I'm gonna put a pickled pepper. Oh, I just popped the yolk. You know, it's a ham and cheese with an egg. It's a croque madame by another name. It's a Sesame Max by another name. I think in a funny way, doing all these toasts has made me see the interconnectivity of the world even more so. Oh my God, the yolk is dripping all over my fingers. I'm trying to say something prophetic. And oh my God, the yolk is going everywhere. I do think it's interesting, having done so many now within this topic, you really do start to see overlap and how foods change as they move across, and little bits get picked up and shifted, by region and by what's available. And that's the story of food, and that's the story of people. And I think that's a really lovely freaking story.
Hi Beryl, my name is April and I live in Southern Virginia, and my favorite way to eat toast is hot honey peach toast on sourdough bread. I guess you could eat it on any kind of bread, but sourdough just happens to be my favorite. To make this, you'll take your honey, red wine vinegar, olive oil, and some salt and pepper and whisk it together until it's combined. And then you'll take your ripe peach and jalapeno and slice them up really thin. And then you toast your bread on both sides. I like to do this in a pan with some olive oil, but you could also just pop it into the toaster. Then I lay down my bread. I do a layer of peach slices and then a layer of jalapeno slices. And then I drizzle that honey red wine vinegar mixture over the top of it. This is such a great combination of sweet and spicy, of crunchy from the bread and the jalapeno slices, and soft from the peaches. The bread soaks up that peach juice and that honey red wine vinegar mixture, and it's just a beautiful dish of contradictions, which is why I love it so much. I first learned about this living in New England, actually. Where I grew up in the South in Georgia, we didn't really have a lot of dishes in my family that mixed sweet and savory, so I didn't really encounter that a lot until I moved to New England. And then, I had so many friends there that ate so many different types of cuisine, and I started to experiment with food a lot. And one day a friend recommended this and I tried it, and I just really loved it so much. It's great for brunch, it's great for any time of day really, and I really hope you enjoy it.
The idea of this is really yummy. I couldn't use fresh peaches because they were all just rock hard and I didn't plan ahead. So canned peaches it is. But the best thing is with canned peaches comes leftover canned peach juice, which, yummy. Toast, I mean cheers. That's legit. As I was doing this, I thought to myself, like, the bread is gonna be dry. Like, what's gonna keep this moist and yummy? But the kind of vinaigrette on top, plus the really wet peaches. Ew, don't say wet peaches. It's not a dry toast. It's really good. And the jalapeno and the honey and the vinegar has like all those kind of contrasting flavors. I used hot honey, which in retrospect, because of the jalapenos, maybe I should have just gone with the normal honey, but it was closer. And the other honey was in the back of the cabinet, and I was not gonna reach behind a bunch of stuff to get another honey. Man, canned peaches are really good because they're so sweet and they're so soft. I'm loving this. I like really love it. That vinaigrette as well would go so well on a fruit salad to kind of make it lean more into the savory world, which I think is a really fun thing to do. Fruit salads don't all need to be sweet. Is canned fruit popular in other countries as well? Like in the US, we do have canned peaches. Sometimes you get a canned fruit cocktail of like a maraschino cherry, something that's white, and peaches. And I have seen canned tiny oranges, but that's not very common either. How about you guys? Let's converse about the canned fruit situation in all of our countries. Although to be honest, I am curious, so let's do. That was so good. Highly recommend that toast, 10 out of 10.
Hi, my name is Katarina. I live in Georgia, United States, but I'm originally from Slovakia. The dish I'd like to share with you today is called Chlebíčky, or little breads. It is a little circle of a baguette with some mayo and mustard on it. Specifically, the American yellow mustard is the best on it. And then we add some cheese, some hard-boiled eggs, and some veggies. And it's the perfect party food. The reason it's one of my favorites is growing up, I used to prep all the ingredients, and then as a family, we would put it all together and make it look really nice because when you have a whole plate of them, it's really colorful and just really beautiful, and it's perfect for snacking on. Specifically, we would make it around New Year's, and it was really special.
These canapes are so cute. Love this little vegetarian toast idea. They are fun. Weird that I did it out of the middle. I feel like I should have done it on the end, whatever. All the different textures of like the crunchy and the sour and the egg and the cheese and that little mayo mustard combo. This is fun. My complaint is that I feel like the egg is taking up too much real estate for me having wanted to put like all the other little fun accoutrement on there. It's kind of like deconstructed egg salad because all of these things I would actually probably have in there, like the pickles, the mayo, the mustard for sure. Maybe not the cheese, but like having a little bit of crunch from vegetables, putting it on the bread. It's kind of cool to have the same thing. I guess I'm just like making the egg salad in my stomach instead of on the top because it's kind of a similar thing. It's a weird way to put it. It's a type of like canapé that you could kind of just make out of the bits that are left in your refrigerator if you were having a party and you're like, oh no, gotta throw together some canapé. I mean, all of us, I'm sure, just whizzing about the house, worrying about the type of canapés that we're making for the next parties we're hosting. But in the off chance that you are, or you just wanna like have a nice little night in and make a fun little toast, I would say this is definitely a really fun way to go. I like it. I do like pickles though.
Hi Beryl, I'm Tolga from Istanbul, Turkey. One of my favorite ways to eat toast is with some Pekmez. You can translate like sesame and molasses. You should first roast and grind sesame seeds, then mix it with Pekmez, grape molasses, toast your bread, and spread your paste on it. Don't be afraid and put generous amount of mixture. It's crunchy, fatty, and sweet. Also, you get a bit of freshness and bitterness from behind. I love it because even though it's a simple recipe, it contains complex taste. Also, it reminds me of family breakfasts on weekends. It's one of the traditional dishes in Anatolia. It used to be eaten by dipping bazlama, Turkish tortilla in it, but nowadays it's more popularly eaten with toast bread. It's so simple and almost 5,000-year-old recipe. Modernly, people use tahini instead of sesame seeds, but sesame gives a superior flavor. It's well known for giving lots of energy. That's why recommended to eat for people doing hard job, students studying towards exam, and newly married couples. You should try it because it's easy to make, delicious, and you can make and store the paste for some time. It makes perfect takeaway and night snack. Afiyetler olsun.
This is very reminiscent to me of the toast that I did from a rock called Shereshewsky, but it's a different type of syrup. So now I have date syrup and grape molasses to figure out what to do with in my house. Huh. The grape molasses kind of tastes like raisins a little bit, and it feels like a more elevated peanut butter and jelly sandwich. The tahini is savory and the grape molasses is very sweet, but together it's a really good balance, much like PB&J. I also don't really like peanut butter, and I like this a lot more than that. I have two questions for you all. Number one, tahini. How are we storing it these days? I kept mine in the fridge and it was a chunky monkey. Getting it to smooth out again was a workout, to say the least. The second one is, what else do I do with the grape molasses? I'm not sure, but this is great, and I will definitely do this one again.
Hi Beryl, my name is Benny. I come from South Korea, but I live in Quebec. The toast recipe I would like to share with you is toast au creton. Creton is a spread made up of ground pork shoulder simmered in a big pot of either milk or water with a bunch of onions and spices. Once it's cooked and refrigerated, it'll last approximately 4 days in the fridge, but you can also buy creton pre-made in most grocery stores in Quebec. The way I like to prepare it is toast up your bread, then butter it up, put the creton, and for me personally, I like to add bright yellow mustard, but whole grain or honey mustard would be delicious as well, so it's really up to your preference. I like it because it's savory, salty, fatty, but the mustard cuts through some of that fattiness, so I would say it's a pretty balanced meal. The reason I think you and your viewers should try it is because it's fairly simple to make even from scratch, and even simpler when you can buy it pre-made, obviously. My mom used to make it for me as a kid who wouldn't eat cereal or eggs in the morning, and even to this day, I still love to eat creton in the mornings. I hope you'll eat your toast with maybe a warm cup of coffee and enjoy this piece of Quebec cuisine. Thank you, bye.
Now, this is interesting. This, I've never heard of it. Cooking it was so strange. Just cooking down this pork for an hour in liquid and then mixing it with breadcrumbs. Ultimately, I didn't put it in the food processor because it didn't seem to need it, but I don't know, man. I'm gonna start with the mustard version the way Penny recommended. Oh, that's pretty good. You guys, it kind of tastes like a hot dog. It's got a lot of flavor. Well, I mean, I guess that was from cooking it down for so long. I'm gonna try it with the little pickles. That's good too, but kind of like it better with the mustard. I would say that this is not exactly a feast for the eyes, but it is a feast for the mouth. You can definitely taste the allspice and the cinnamon that went into it. Even though Canada is definitely our friendly neighbors to the north, I feel like I don't really know much about the culinary landscape. I know that Quebec has its own kind of vibe, if you will. Is this part of that vibe? Maybe. And with that, 10 episodes of Toast are complete. If you're looking for more, I am leaving you with 2 more episodes to look at. They're really, really fun. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode, and I will see you all